Hi, this is Dennis Becker from FiveBucksADay.com. Have you ever wondered how you can make better personal use of the 24 hours you and everyone else has been given? Have you ever wondered where all your time is going? Have you ever wondered why you aren't as successful in business as you'd like? Possibly the answer is in the way you manage the time you're allotting to your business. One way to better use and track your time is by a technique known as time boxing. What time boxing is a simple three-step approach to organizing and managing the things that you do during the day. Step 1, write down everything you want to do. Step 2, decide how long to allot to each task. Step 3, start on a task and by using a timer, such as an egg timer, focus on that task until the egg timer runs out. Then repeat step 3 for each task on your list until your day is done. Of course, that can become cumbersome in many ways. What if you're interrupted before your first task is done? How do you pause your egg timer? What if you need to start task 2 before task 1 is done? How many egg timers do you need? Can you find egg timers with enough variations to suit your needs? Can you find one for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 60 minutes, 3 hours? I don't think so. And at the end of the week, do you really know what you did each day during the week? For these reasons and more, I bring you a very powerful software tool. I call it the $5 a day Action Enforcer, or Action Enforcer for short. Although the Action Enforcer is a tremendous assist to those following my $5 a day internet marketing strategy, and many of the examples that I'll give you are internet marketing type activities, by no way is Action Enforcer not as useful to anyone else. In fact, it can be valuable to anyone in any facet of their life, as I'll try to show you and as you'll undoubtedly see as you use it. If you haven't installed Action Enforcer yet, it's simple. After downloading, you'll see a zip file on your desktop, and it's called Action Enforcer. Now I've unzipped it myself, and I've got a folder here, the Action Enforcer folder on my desktop. Just open that up. Inside you'll see a setup file, and double click on that, and it'll install itself to your computer. Most likely all the defaults it assumes during the install process will be perfectly fine, but like any Windows application, you can change things if you wish. During the setup process, it'll ask you if you want to place a shortcut icon on your desktop, and if you did allow it to do that, you'll see this green check mark here. If you don't do that, just go to the, and I'm in Vista here, so it may be different if you have XP or something, but just go to All Programs, click on it, and you'll see a folder called the $5 a day Action Enforcer. Click on that, and you'll see the only program inside that folder is the Action Enforcer itself. Okay, so I'm going to double click on the icon on my desktop, and you'll see this screen. Okay, let's get started. There's two simple concepts to using Action Enforcer. There are actions and there are timers. Additionally, there are action lists and timer groups, which we'll talk about briefly later. But you only need to know about the actions and the timers to get started. And the others you can read about in the Action Enforcer User Guide, which is also unzipped when you unzip the zip file that's inside the folder. An action is something that you want to do. For example, you might want to plan a project. You might want to check and answer emails. You might want to do web surfing like Twitter, forums, Facebook, any number of things. Each of those would be an action, and although you don't need Action Enforcer to help you do them, telling an Action Enforcer about them and letting it monitor the completion will be incredibly valuable, as you'll see. So I recommend that virtually everything you do during the day, or during your business day at least, be part of your Action Enforcer time group. There might be unpredictable tasks that you can't foresee, such as a quick phone call, but otherwise I would recommend you plan your day as much as possible using Action Enforcer. A timer is a number of minutes or hours you allot to an action. So if you think you'll be spending 45 minutes during the day to check and answer emails, you'll set up a timer for 45 minutes for that action. If you want to spend 2 hours writing articles, set up an action timer for that, and so on. An action list is just a collection of actions. You can have up to 50 separate action lists. Each one can have any number of different actions associated with it. When you install Action Enforcer, there's a default action list that you see here. Okay, down in the left hand part of the screen, it set up some typical actions that you might do. Business follow-up with clients, invoicing and billing, marketing. Now you may or may not use any or all of these in your day-to-day list, and of course these can all be added to or deleted or moved around or renamed. You may not care about during your business day cleaning and organizing your garage, but like I say, you might want to use Action Enforcer to control your time management for other parts of your life as well. Actions can be one-time actions or they can be repetitive actions. A one-time action is something that you might not do again in the near future. For example, research leasing options for a new car or plan trip to San Francisco. Repetitive actions can be things like check and answer emails, fill out quarterly tax forms, and so on. One repetitive action that I urge you to set up on your action list is one that I set as review goals and to-dos. I have that set up on my main action list, and every day I make a 15-minute timer for it. So the first thing I do each day is decide what I want to get done, create timers for them, and then I'm ready to start my day using Action Enforcer as my, well, enforcer. Okay, let's see how to input actions and start timers. Here's the main Action Enforcer interface you see here. This part of the screen is the time group, and right now we have nothing allotted as far as time for our day. Okay, if you've just installed the program, these are the actions that you see in the default action list. To add a new one, just type it in at the top where it says add an action. So just click on there and you'll be able to type into that box. Now there's two ways to type in actions. One is if you type in a duration, a numeric value, 2 or 3 number value, which would be in minutes, and then an action name. Okay, that'll be an action that'll be added immediately to the time group section over here, and we'll see that in just a minute. And if you do that, it automatically adds it as a timer without adding it to the list. So let's say we want to do this. We want to type in 60, fill out quarterly tax forms. Okay, it's become part of our time group, and at the top it's showing a total of 1 hour, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds of time remaining as far as the actions that we allotted to our day. Now that's because we only have the one action on the time group so far, but as we add more, you'll see that this value increases. Okay, if you want to add an action that will be repetitive, just type in the action title without the duration, and it'll go into the currently active action list. Then each time you create a timer from that action, you can tell Action Enforcer how long it will take today. So let's type in review goals and to-dos. Now that didn't get added over to the time group over here because we didn't have a duration. So we need to tell Action Enforcer how long this is going to take. So we go down into the action list section of the interface and we see this little blue bar. And as we hover our cursor over it and move the cursor, you can see different options on the number of minutes that we're telling Action Enforcer this is going to take today. So I'm going to click where it says 15 minutes, and it's been added now over into the time group immediately. And now the total time that we've allotted for a day is 1 hour and 15 minutes. Okay, it doesn't really matter, but if you want to rearrange the order of the actions in the timer area, you can just use the little box in the upper right hand corner of any individual item in your time group area, and that will enable you to move that action to any other part of the screen. Okay, so I've just moved review goals and to-dos over to the first task because, okay, and in my case that's something that I want to do the first thing every day. Now I could be working on the second item in the interface first. It doesn't really matter. Action Enforcer doesn't care, but just in a linear way, it's nice to have things in the order in which you want to get them accomplished. So now I'm going to add one more action for today, just to show you some examples. And I'll make this a repetitive task because it's something I'm going to be doing every day. Check and answer emails. I'm sure we all probably do that. Now it's gone down here, and let's say that I have a standard allotment of 60 minutes a day handling emails. Okay, and one more thing for our day. Let's see, what are we going to do? I'll spend 3 hours on writing a sales page for a new product. Okay, so now you see we've got 4 actions or 4 tasks that we've got allotted for our day today, and we've got a total of 5 hours and 15 minutes and 0 seconds. Okay, as I'm shooting this video, it's 2:40 p.m. on Monday. If I go up here and hover over that current time, you'll see that it goes to amber, and it's saying 7:55 p.m. That's telling me that if I do everything in the exact amount of time with no pauses in between, and or no pauses during any other task, and I don't add anything, that I'm going to be done at 7:55 tonight. Okay, and likewise, well, we can't see any difference here, but if I've partially completed some of the actions, and I hover over here, it's going to tell me how much longer I have. Okay, if I started at 3 hours on the writing the sales page, and I'm down to only having an hour left to do, it would still tell me the total amount of time that I allotted is 5 hours and 15 minutes. But when I hover over this, it would tell me, I guess it'll be down to 3 hours and 15 minutes left to go. Okay, so that's good information. Now, if let's get one of these actions going. The way to start an action is to just click on the play button, and at that point you're going to see a timer start clicking down, and it's going to give you a sense of urgency. Now we're working on something. Now isn't the time to play. Now isn't the time to go surf a forum. Now's the time to work on this particular action, which in this case is reviewing the goals and to-dos. Okay, so it's clicking away, and it allows you, Action Enforcer allows you to have up to 12 actions listed in this area here, which is called the timer group area. And 12 different tasks for a given day is usually well more than enough. If you need more than that, well, just fill up 12, and then after you've completed a few of them, you can we'll show you how easily it is to tell Action Enforcer it's complete, and to remove it from the timer group area so that another box will open up for you. Okay. If you need to, you can pause an action. Let's say that I got a phone call and I wanted to pause. I don't want the phone call to go against my review action activity. So you just click on the pause button, and the timer is stopped for now. And to restart it, just click on it again, and it starts counting down again. Okay, I do this all the time for my daily check and answer emails because I'm allotting myself. I'm finding that because I do a lot of email activity in my business, I find that I average maybe an hour a day or hour and a half a day on a bad day, and but it's not all at once, because I'll handle emails in the morning, and then I'll do something else for a while, and then I'll check emails to see if anything crucial came in, and then I'll pause that again, and I'll go on and do something else. So I'm floating back and forth between other tasks and answering emails, and I like to focus on other tasks, but I can't focus on doing emails for an hour because there's just not an hour's worth to do in the first thing of the day. So that's something that I'm constantly pausing and starting and stopping during the course of the day. Okay. One really cool thing about Action Enforcer, after a task is complete, now I'll illustrate that. Up here in the top of the interface, you see 0 actions are completed. Okay, that means I haven't finished anything. But watch what happens when I click on this check mark. Let's say I'm through planning my goals and my to-dos for the day. Now if I let it count down all the way to 0, an alarm is going to go off, and that's going to tell Action Forcer that it's complete and it's time to stop doing that. But if we complete before the alarm goes off, we just click on the check mark and voila. Okay, it's giving us reward with a nice big green check mark there, and up here in the corner it says 1 action is completed. Now once you get more actions, at the end of the day or at the end of the week or whatever, you can run a report that shows exactly everything that you did all week long or all day long. It'll show you all the different tasks you had, how much time you allotted, how much time it took. So that's very good information. If I think that I'm spending an hour a day on emails, but really I'm only spending 30 minutes a day on average, then hey, I've got some extra time that I can allot to other activities during the week. So you can see where your time's going and adjust your schedules appropriately. Now if I want to free up this box here, click on this red dot here and it'll delete that timer. So now I've just got 3 things going, and now Action Enforcer is saying I've only got 5 hours more work to do during today. So cool. Action Enforcer will enable you to take control of your time management. No longer will you waste away half your day frivolously. If you want to spend 15 minutes surfing a forum, without a timer you might spend an hour before you know it. So that's one great thing about Action Enforcer. That's why we call it Action Enforcer. It enforces your use of time. And remember, time is your most valuable asset, really. Parkinson's law says the amount of time that you spend is going to expand to the amount of time that you allot to it. So if you tell Action Enforcer that, hey, yeah, I want to spend some time surfing forums, but I want to spend 15 minutes, then you'll spend 15 minutes, believe me. But if you don't tell it what you want to do, if you don't use Action Enforcer, chances are you spend a half an hour, an hour, 2 hours, before you know it, half your day is gone. So Action Enforcer is going to save you an incredible amount of time. And no longer will you wonder where your time went. Action Enforcer will tell you exactly what you did all day. You'll be able to use this information to train yourself to value your time more highly. Maybe there's some things that you're doing that would be better done by someone else that you outsource to. If you find out that you're spending 15 hours a week on average writing articles, for example, maybe it would pay you to have someone else do that so that you can spend your time doing higher value tasks. Or maybe if you find that you're spending 4 hours a day surfing forums and on Twitter and Facebook, maybe you decide to cut back some. I'd certainly hope. But more than anything, Action Enforcer helps you focus. Now you start your day with a graphical image of what you want to accomplish, and you do those tasks one by one until they're done. You'll start the timer, and you'll see in your mind, and you'll keep looking. How much longer do I have to write this sales letter? How much longer do I have before this task is done? There's going to be things that you can't do in one day. So maybe you'll say to yourself, okay, I want to spend an hour a day every day this week writing that sales letter. So you give yourself an hour. When the alarm goes off, you say, okay, that's enough for one day. My energy is sapped. I'll do something that doesn't take quite as much creative energy. So it's going to help you there. And now you have the power to control where your time is going. So that's a quick start version of what Action Enforcer does for you. I hope it helps you get going with it today. I hope that once you realize just how much more productive you become, that you'll use Action Enforcer every day. In future videos or in the Action Enforcer User's Guide that you downloaded, you'll learn about more powerful features of the software. And believe me, there is a lot more power. But what you've seen in this video is enough to get you started, and I hope you do. Talk to you later. Bye.